Hey everyone, it is day 134 of Lifeteams. This is update number 9. Well, we finally calculated all the money that we have left, and I only have $270 left for Lifeteams. It's absolutely awesome and incredible to think last year in January I had $7,800 and now I only have $270. Our God is an awesome God. It's just, anyways, thanks guys. I thank you for the support and the prayers. I thank you if I haven't already. There are people I haven't thanked out there. Anyways, I just want to get to this. I led another youth to Christ. It's awesome. Just that God would allow me to be a part of that and tie our stories together. It's just... Oh, anyways, I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you how it came about. Well, the week before I actually led this youth to Christ, I was talking to him about it. I asked him, basically, what do you believe? What is it that you believe? And if that is what you believe, then why are you basically here? If you're just... You know, he felt like you're going to die and there's no God and there's no heaven and hell. And he said, well, that's what I believe. And I'm like, well, if that's true, then what purpose do you have, really? Anyways, the week, I left him with that and I went all out with my week. The night before I went to placement the next week, I really had the sense of feeling worthless, absolutely worthless within my group of peers because of the way that I've been coming across. I felt like I've been ignored and just generally not listened to, and my opinions weren't valued. But I've talked with them tonight and we've sorted all that out and it's all good now. But anyways, I had this sense of feeling worthless, and I went praying to God that night, basically, I have worth in your eyes, but I want worth in theirs, in the peers. So I went to Cyrus, and I just went about my day, and out of nowhere, I got a random text from a Lifeteams alumni named Jessica, and she says, "You're so cool." And I'm like, what does that mean? It's so random, out of nowhere. And she's like, well, just look at you. You, work well with the youth, and from what I hear and see, basically that I'm doing a good job and to keep it up, and she's so glad that was my passion, out of nowhere, just out of the blue. And I was like, I so needed to hear that today, thank you. And she's like, God's like that, which is really cool. She heard it from listening prayer. Anyways, I won't get into that. I met with this youth. I'll use his name Matt for Matt right now, because I can't say his real name. I met with Matt again, and I asked him what he thought about the question. He said, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I wrote a letter and I wrote down all the things why I believe God exists and the reasons why I might not think that. And so I'm like, I ignored all he said, and I'm like, so you believe God exists? And he's like, well, yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Last week you did. So I asked him, can you please tell me your story? I want to know how you grew up. I want to have this relationship with you so I can understand just who it is I'm sitting in front of. So he did. And so I heard his story. I won't get into that. Anyways, I asked him, well, would you like to hear my story? And he's like, well, I guess so. I'm like, after Cyrus Center tonight, I will meet you at C21 for coffee, which is great. Anyways, I met with him, and I just told him my story. I told him, well, you guys can read it. It's along the side of the blog. But I basically told him that, and... It's so amazing. He basically got to the point where he was asking questions about God, and he's like, I got to talk about this with you. but I gotta go. And I'm like, I can't leave without asking you this question tonight. so I basically asked him, do you want this for your life? And he says, I want to be able to go and ask I want to ask my friends what you asked me. Why is it that you believe what you believe? And I was like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. Anyways, and so I told him about Jesus and what he'd done in several things, and how he loved us enough to end the separation between us and God, to come down on the cross and make that bridge. Anyways, I won't get into that. But I told him all this and tied it in with my story. And he's like, yeah, I want that. And so I led him through a prayer, and now he knows the Lord. So, yeah, it's awesome. He basically left the conversations. I wanted to give him a ride over to Cyrus again. He's like, no, I gotta run. I'm so excited. I have so much energy. So he just started booking it. It was awesome. I told my instructor the next day the same story, and I said, look, I think God was trying to say that I was valuable. And she was like, well, I don't think that's exactly what what God was saying. He was saying, look, while you felt like you were worthless, I used you. And I used you when you felt like you could not make a difference. And now there's a youth that got brought to Christ through this whole experience. Isn't that just the grace of God, right? Anyways, right now I'm kind of struggling with my role in this youth's life as in discipleship. You know, I feel like I can't. I don't want to be stuck at the point where I say, well, now this youth is a Christian. Time to move on. I can put another notch in my belt. Yay! No. I want to build a relationship. I want to show him the God that I know, that loves and gives us hope and joy and purpose in our lives, and I want to show him that. So I just pray, and I ask you guys to pray, that this youth's heart would be set on absolute fire for God. I don't know when or where, but I'm part of that experience. That would be awesome. And I thank you for all the prayers that you guys do give. You guys probably have prayed for this youth. Just saying. Anyways, so that was my last week in a nutshell. If you like to ask questions, just feel free to message me here or on Facebook. With closing, I just want to say we're running, us Life Teamers, the 9 of us, are planning a mission trip from every single detail, and there's going to be 29 youth coming. 29 youth! And we're running a missions trip. So I ask you guys pray for us in that whole situation. Anyways, I thank you for watching this. I thank you for your continued support in the ministry that God has called me to, and I thank you that for your prayers and just your general time, you know, just to see what God's been doing in my life and the lives of others. Anyways, see you guys.